Soft instrumental music fills the hospital room as the nurse, with a warm smile, announces, "Congratulations. It's a baby boy." The young mother, drenched in sweat and tears, lets out a trembling sigh of relief. "Thank God, my baby is safe. That's all that matters," she whispers, her voice breaking with emotion. Her trembling hands rise gently, waiting to hold the tiny life she carried for 9 long months. But the nurse pauses for a brief moment, just a second too long, her smile fading slightly before she finally places the baby in the mother's arms. The room, once filled with joyful murmurs, grows heavy with silence. The mother's eyes sparkle with pure love as she gazes at her child's face for the first time, brushing her finger against his soft cheek. Suddenly, she notices the hushed whispers behind her. "Oh, he's so dark," one relative murmurs, the words slicing through the air like a quiet insult. Another woman, trying to sound polite, adds, "Maybe he'll get fairer with time." Their voices carry judgment disguised as concern. The mother freezes for a moment, her joy flickering under the weight of their words. Her heartbeat quickens, not from fear, but from a surge of protectiveness. She looks down at her baby again, his tiny hands curled into fists, his face peaceful, innocent. A faint smile returns to her lips, trembling but full of strength. With calm dignity, she finally replies, "He's perfect just the way he is." Her voice is steady, but her eyes glisten with unspoken pain. The relatives exchange uneasy glances, some look away, others shrug. The mother rocks her baby gently, whispering words only a mother's heart can understand. In that quiet room, she makes a silent promise, that no matter what the world says, she will protect her son from every cruel word, every laugh, every judgment. She kisses his forehead softly, her tears falling onto his tiny blanket. The nurse, watching from the corner, feels a pang of guilt for her hesitation and lowers her eyes. The camera slowly zooms out, showing the mother holding her baby tightly against her chest. Her face, though tired, glows with love and quiet pride. The whispers fade, replaced by the steady, gentle heartbeat of a mother's courage. They laughed at her baby's dark skin that day, but she saw only light, the light of a love that would outshine their cruelty forever. Days later, the mother finally returns home with her newborn baby wrapped in a soft white blanket. The sunlight filters through the lace curtains, painting gentle patterns across the small living room. She looks tired but peaceful, rocking her baby as he sleeps soundly against her chest. Soon, the sound of chatter fills the air, relatives and neighbors begin arriving with gifts and congratulations. But beneath their smiles, something else lingers, curiosity, judgment, whispers. Aunt, pretending to admire, "Oh, he's grown already. Such a cute baby." Then, her voice drops, quieter, but still sharp enough to cut. "But he's really dark, isn't he?" A neighbor laughs softly, adding, "Poor thing, he doesn't look anything like his mother. Maybe the sun got him." The words hang heavy in the room, followed by uneasy laughter. The mother forces a faint smile, clutching her baby protectively. Her heart aches, not for herself, but for the innocent soul in her arms. She feels their stares burning holes in her happiness. Her mother-in-law looks away awkwardly, even her husband sits silently, unsure whether to speak or stay quiet. The mother takes a deep breath, stands up slowly, and looks around the room. "Mother," soft but firm, "my son's color is a blessing. Maybe you all see darkness, but I see beauty, strength, and the hand of God." Her tone isn't angry, it's steady, filled with quiet pride. The room falls silent. One or two people clear their throats, pretending to change the topic. The baby stirs slightly in her arms, his tiny hand reaching up, touching her cheek as if sensing her pain. She smiles, her eyes softening instantly. Later that night, when everyone has left, she sits by the window, the moonlight bathing her and the baby in a silver glow. The house is quiet now, but her thoughts aren't. She whispers to him, her voice trembling yet full of love, "You don't have to be like them, my son. You just have to be kind. One day, they'll see your worth, and the world will see the light that shines from your heart." A gentle breeze moves the curtain, almost like a blessing. The mother looks down at her baby, asleep and peaceful, his dark skin glowing softly under the moonlight. She strokes his forehead and smiles through her tears. At that moment, she realizes, love is the only color that truly matters. They mocked her child's color that night, but a mother's love doesn't fade, it only grows brighter in the face of cruelty. And soon, the world would learn what real beauty looks like. Years pass like turning pages in a storybook. The once tiny baby is now a bright, curious boy named Arise. His laughter fills the little home with warmth, his eyes shining with innocence and wonder. Every morning, his mother packs his school bag, ties his shoelaces, and kisses his forehead before sending him off with a prayer. "Be kind, my son," she whispers. "And never forget, you are beautiful, inside and out." But school isn't always kind. Children can be cruel without understanding the weight of their words. On his very first day, when Arise walks into the classroom, a few boys snicker. "Look, he's darker than the blackboard," one of them jokes. The others burst into laughter. Arise forces a smile, pretending it doesn't hurt, but that night, when his mother asks about school, his silence says everything. She kneels down beside him, her voice soft. "Did someone say something unkind?" Arise hesitates, then nods. "They called me Shadow." His small voice breaks, his eyes glistening. His mother holds him close, her voice gentle but full of fire. "Listen to me, Arise. Shadows only exist where there is light. Don't hide from who you are. Let your kindness be the light they can't ignore." From that day, Arise carries her words like armor. When others tease him, he stays silent, his smile steady. Instead of fighting back with anger, he chooses kindness. He helps classmates with homework, shares his lunch, and comforts anyone who feels left out. Slowly, the same children who once mocked him begin to admire him. Teachers notice his intelligence, his calm nature, his heart. Montage moments play, Arise standing up for a bullied student, Arise reading alone under a tree, Arise winning a science fair medal, his mother clapping proudly in the audience. Each small victory chips away at the cruelty the world tried to plant in him. One day, his teacher announces, "Class, our school has chosen Arise to represent us at the National Student Conference." The classroom bursts into applause. Even those who once mocked him now cheer his name. Arise looks toward the door, his mother is standing there, tears in her eyes but pride glowing brighter than ever. That night, she hugs him tight. "See," she whispers. They laughed because they didn't understand. But light always finds its way through darkness. Arise smiles, resting his head against her shoulder. "You were right, Mom. Kindness always wins." The world tried to dim his light because of his color, but his mother taught him to glow from within. And as he grew, his heart outshone every shadow that ever tried to cover him. The years glide by, and the little boy who once hid behind his mother's sari is now a grown man, confident, calm, and radiant with purpose. Arise stands before the mirror in his graduation gown, straightening the collar with slightly trembling hands. His mother watches from the doorway, her eyes filled with silent joy. For a moment, she sees flashes of the past, the hospital room, the whispers, the laughter, and then this, her son, tall and graceful, ready to walk across a stage that once felt too far away. Outside, the college courtyard is alive with music, applause, and camera flashes. Students hug each other, families wave proudly, and banners flutter under the summer sky. But amidst all the noise, one sight stands out, Ari's mother sitting in the front row, holding a small bouquet of white flowers, her eyes glistening. She's dressed simply, her smile quiet but filled with unshakable pride. When the announcer calls his name, valedictorian of the year, Ari's Khan, the crowd erupts into cheers. Ari's walks across the stage with steady steps, his cap tilted slightly, his face glowing with humble confidence. For a moment, he spots familiar faces in the crowd, old neighbors, distant relatives, the same ones who once whispered, "Poor child, so dark." Now, their claps echo the sound of karma returning softly. Ari's takes the microphone. His voice is calm, but his words carry the weight of every insult, every silent tear his mother ever shed. Our eyes, when I was born, the world told my mother that her child was too dark. But she saw light where others saw shade. She taught me that your color doesn't define your worth, your actions do. Today, every achievement I've earned belongs to her. The crowd grows still. His mother lowers her head, tears rolling down her cheeks, clutching the bouquet tightly. A proud smile curves her lips as she whispers to herself, "I told you, my son, love always wins." After the ceremony, as photographers snap pictures and friends celebrate, Our Eyes walks toward his mother. The sun sets behind them, casting a golden glow. He kneels down beside her, places his medal in her hands, and says softly, "You're the reason I made it, Mom. This is yours." She cups his face tenderly, her voice breaking. "No, my son. You are my victory." They hug tightly as the camera slowly zooms out, capturing the quiet beauty of their moment. A mother who never stopped believing, and a son who proved her right. They laughed at her baby's dark skin once, but now the world stands to applaud him. Because no matter how cruel the world may be, a mother's love always writes the final chapter. Years later. The world has changed, and so has Our Eyes. The boy who once endured mockery now stands tall as Dr. Our Eyes Khan, a respected doctor known for his kindness and humanitarian work. His name appears in newspapers, his face on TV screens, always smiling, always humble. He runs a charity that offers free medical care to children in poor communities. The same hands that once trembled as a bullied boy now heal others with compassion. One evening, in a modest neighborhood far away, a few familiar faces sit around a flickering television. The same relatives and neighbors who once mocked his mother's baby now lean forward, stunned. The news anchor's voice echoes. Dr. Our Eyes Khan has opened his 5th free hospital for underprivileged children across the country. His work has inspired millions. There he is, smiling, confident, standing before hundreds of people, speaking about love and equality. Our Eyes, on TV, no child should ever be judged by their color, their past, or their pain. Every soul deserves light. Silence fills the room. The aunt who once said, "He's too dark," lowers her eyes. The neighbor who laughed years ago swallows hard, guilt heavy in her throat. Neighbor, whispering, "That's him, the same boy we used to tease." Aunt, softly, "Yes, and look what he became." Their laughter from years ago now echoes back, not as amusement, but as shame. Meanwhile, Our Eyes walks into his mother's small living room that night. She's older now, her hair silver, her hands weaker, but her eyes still shine the same. He kneels beside her, gently resting his head on her lap, just like he did as a child. She smiles, stroking his hair. "Mother, they laughed once, remember?" Our Eyes, smiling, "Yes, Mom. But you were right, karma doesn't shout. It whispers softly." "Mother, and what does it say, my son?" Our Eyes, "It says love always wins." Tears glisten in her eyes as she holds his face in her hands. Outside, the evening sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in gold and deep brown, the same color as his skin, rich and radiant. The camera slowly zooms out, mother and son sitting together in quiet peace, the golden light of dusk filling the room. Narration, voiceover. They mocked her child's color. They laughed at his skin. But life, in its quiet wisdom, answered them with grace. Because karma doesn't always come as thunder, sometimes, it comes as the gentle success of those who choose love over hate. Beauty isn't in color, it's in character. Red Heart, they laughed at her baby's dark skin, but karma answered softly.